What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. The Blue Jays' biggest threat to making playoffs this season just got a lot bigger, and that threat is the juggernaut team of the Baltimore Orioles, a team last year who unexpectedly won over 100 games, and they just made a move that made them a hell of a lot scarier. Before we get into the move and what the Blue Jays got to do to combat it, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy Blue Jays news and content. Like I said, last season the Baltimore Orioles came out of the gate swinging, and they had an incredible season. They were mainly carried by that elite young core of hitters, as well as a very good and shutdown bullpen. The one weakness, however, was that rotation of theirs. And the Orioles have had a very quiet offseason so far until they recently made a big move where they sold their team off for $1.7 billion, and just one day after they did that, they made one of the biggest splashes this offseason. The Baltimore Orioles traded with the Milwaukee Brewers to acquire Corbin Burnes, who in his last 4 seasons has an ERA of 2.86. I mean, this guy is just one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. And that is a very, very scary threat to the Toronto Blue Jays, because the Baltimore Orioles, they're pretty much running back the exact same guys they did last year that went 10-3 against the Toronto Blue Jays in the regular season. Even with an inexperienced rotation last year, the Baltimore Orioles were able to destroy the Toronto Blue Jays. And that was mainly because the Baltimore Orioles, well, their offense and their bullpen was just that good. They would continue to slug against the Blue Jays and continue to score runs throughout the entire game. And the Blue Jays, as we all know, needed to score more runs to stay in those ball games. So what do the Blue Jays do this offseason to combat that? Well, like we know, they've signed Justin Turner, they got IKF, and they're running it back with Kevin Kiermaier, which to me looks like a bit of a downgrade if you're considering who they lost this offseason. And now that the Baltimore Orioles are adding Corbin Burnes, it is going to test this Blue Jays offense even greater. It's going to put even more pressure on the Toronto Blue Jays hitters to bounce back in a huge way. I've said it before many times, and I'm going to say it again. A bounce back from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is almost crucial at this point if you want to beat the Baltimore Orioles in the regular season. Unless something changes, the way these games are going to play out between the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays, it's going to be a major slugfest. That young Oriole lineup has already proven that they can beat our pitching, starting, or bullpen. However, it's not all on the Blue Jays offense to outslug the Baltimore Orioles. You can't expect that out of them every single game. You do gotta expect this Blue Jays pitching staff to be good yet again. And while I do think our pitching staff is pretty good right now, we're gonna need some bounce back performances from guys like Alek Manoah. It was made apparent in the media that the Blue Jays do not plan on trading Alek Manoah, and I do think that's a good decision. Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. We're looking for upside right here, and Alek Manoah, he does have the upside to be a Cy Young caliber pitcher. If he can bounce back and be that front end of the rotation kind of pitcher along with Kevin Gausman and Chris Bassett and Jose Berrios, then I think that the Blue Jays can have a good chance of trying to shut down this Orioles team now that we've seen this lineup for the second year in a row. Look, beating any major league team is not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of factors on the offensive side of things, the defensive side of things, and of course the pitching side of things. If there's one thing for certain though, the Baltimore Orioles are a real and scary threat to the Blue Jays and the rest of the American League East. Winning 100 games with the team they did last year and now adding some elite top-end pitching talent, they're getting a lot better. And with the Yankees making the additions that they've made this offseason, the Blue Jays are going to have to step it up this season. Because the big teams are going to be getting in your way to make it back to the playoffs are the teams in your own division. But guys, you let me know in the comments down below, are you worried about this Baltimore Orioles team? And please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, go Jays go.